can you, okay. And then just start recording again. And I think we're probably ready if everybody's ready.
Yep, it just needs a
We
second.
are.
Can you?
All right, we're good to go.
And then
Okay.
just start recording again. And we're probably ready if everybody's ready.
Yeah, it looks like we've got the recording notice, so I think we are good to go. Good evening, everyone. It's 5:03. I would like to call the Board of Library Trustees, Altoona Library meeting to order. This is the regularly scheduled March meeting. With that, I'm going to do the roll call. Trustee Andrews.
Here.
Trustee Capel.
Here.
Trustee Clark.
Here.
Trustee Wilkerson. Camila?
Here, sorry, I couldn't work the mute.
No worries, not at all. Do we have any amendments or changes to the published agenda? Okay, hearing none, may I get a motion to adopt the agenda as posted?
So moved.
Thank you, Katie. Second?
Second.
Great, thank you. As is customary, we will go to a vote. Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Capel.
Aye.
Trustee Clark.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkerson.
Aye.
Great, thank you. And an aye vote for me. The agenda is approved as is. Would it be David or Anna? Do we have any public comments on non-agenda items?
That would be me, and we have received none.
None. Great, thank you. If you keep us posted throughout the meeting, if we do receive any.
Thank you, will do.
Great, thank you. Next, we'll go on to the consent calendar, which includes the minutes from the meeting held on February 28th. Unfortunately, the pages are not on the printed documents, but nonetheless, they are there. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Thank you, Jason. Second?
Second.
Great, thank you very much. All right, take the consent calendar to a vote. Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Capel.
Aye.
Trustee Clark.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkerson.
Aye.
Great, thank you. And an aye vote for me. There is item number 4, which is consent of items removed from the consent calendar. There is no items, so we'll go to item number 5, department updates and special presentations. It's in your packet. Do we have any comments or questions of the staff on the presentation? Okay. All right. No comments at this point, but staff is here if you have any questions. But as usual, a very extensive report. Thank you very much for all of your hard work. All right.
And
now
thank
we
you
will
as, sorry if I may, just real quick. I should have said, raise my hand, but I didn't. Thank you guys for including pictures. It's so wonderful. Like, I know, I feel like we say this every month, but it really does make a huge difference to see like programs in action and to see what's happening. And it's so great. And I know it takes a ton of time and a ton of work. So just thank you so much for including those.
Great point, Katie.
And I'll just add real quick. I think I'm not the only one, but I've been like so knee deep in this facility stuff that I sometimes forget that there's all this other work stuff happening at the library every day.
Right.
And then I was really amazed to see how many participants we have in our teen council. I think that's incredibly important to see the next generation of community leaders coming up through the library. So congratulations on that.
Definitely. Great. Okay, great. Thank you very much for that. Okay, next we have the support group reports. I'm not sure, I don't know that we've got either Sally. Let me see here. Sally, are you here? No? Okay. I don't believe I see her on the meeting. Nor do we have a foundation representative. So In the event, if they do chime in later on, we'll circle back to them, but those reports are in your agenda, both from the Friends as well as the foundation. Next, we'll go to the District Director's report.
Hi, everyone. I will be giving the director's report on behalf of Nikki Winslow tonight. So first I will start with an update on staffing. We have a new administrative assistant that will start with us on April 11th. We held interviews on March 14th and we were able to make a selection out of a wide pool of candidates. So we're excited about that. We are also moving on to the second round of interviews for the library assistant position at the Bob Lucas branch. We are hopeful that we will fill that position by mid-April as well. Aside from staffing, I'll move on to talk about the virtual town hall that is taking place tomorrow evening from 6 to 8 p.m. on Zoom, where we will be reviewing the schematic designs for the Bob Lucas branch. So registration is required for that event from 6 to 8 tomorrow night. We have a special text mailer that will be coming out soon. It's a letter to the property owners about the special tax lien, as well as instructions for low income exemption. So that will be coming soon. Nikki is working with MBS to finalize that letter. Moving along to statistics, we expect the statistics to rise now that we are reopened and we're transitioning to in-person programming. So I know our stats may look a little different. It's hard to compare them from year to year based on the way these last 2 years have been set up, but we are very hopeful to be increasing our patronage soon. Moving along from statistics, some partnerships and programs that I'd like to highlight. We just did a bunch of celebrating for Women's History Month. We had an art exhibit. We had a virtual bookshelves. We've had displays inside the libraries. And last but not least, we have an event, a virtual event this coming Thursday in collaboration with the Altadena Chamber of Commerce. And the program is called Women in Science. So that program will happen at 10 a.m. and you can register through our website if you wish to attend. Another program that I would love to highlight is Second Saturdays. So in March, we had our first one after a break, and we are excited to announce that it is moving back indoors where it normally takes place next month in April. And we will be hosting Las Chicas on April the 9th. And one more update about staffing. I saved this one at the end, even though I started off with staffing updates. I would like to warmly welcome and introduce Anna Villalobos. She is our new office manager. Anna started with us on March 7th, and she has really hit the ground running. She comes to us with lots of experience, lots of knowledge, and lots of warmth that just make her a wonderful addition to our ALD team. So we are so excited to have her and introduce her to the board. And it's perfect timing because I'm wrapping my director's update up and turning it over to her to go over the financials report. So thank you all.
Thank you,
Ashley,
Ashley.
wonderful job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yes.
Just quick question, Ashley, before we move on to the financials, if I may. Do you happen to know how many people we have registered for the town hall tonight, as of tonight? You know
As
where we're
of
at on that?
tonight, I do not know. I know that we had 39 as of a couple days ago.
Right, right.
Mhm.
I was just curious if we had an updated number because I know a lot of emails went out. Okay. All right. Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Thanks.
Any other questions of Ashley before we turn it over to Anna? No? Okay.
I
Great.
would just say welcome, welcome Anna, and thank you, Ashley.
Yes. Same here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anna, financial report.
Yes. Well, thank you all. Today we'll be reviewing January 2022 financials. These are unaudited. And if you're following along with me in the agenda packet, you'll be referencing pages 29 through 34 for the PDF. So currently we're at 50% of our budget this fiscal year. As indicated on the revenue and expense report, page 6, line 6 of page 29 reports a gross year-to-date revenue of $3,839,390. Line 65 of page 30 reports expenditures of $2,265,162, netting a profit of $1,574,228. That can be found on line 66 of page 30 of the agenda packet. Jumping over to page 34, our balance sheet. We're reporting cash with the county at $2,739,597. And that's a sum of lines 3 and 4. The district requirement of having 6 months of operating expenses is $1,941,850. We're reporting total ALD assets of $7,165,540. In terms of highlights for January, at close, we're at 98% of target revenues. Of notice, on line 5 of the revenue and expenditure report, we earned $5,000 of additional monies attributable to location fees for filming. Line 2, property taxes and assessments took in $34,970. Most of these year-to-date funds were received in December. Line 3, fines and fees contributed $2,799, primarily attributable to passport services. In terms of general fund expenses, of note, line 37 of the revenue and expenditure report, we have about, we see a little bit of an upstick for audit and financial consulting fees. This is support from our CPA group for the finance department. And so we should be seeing a downturn in that number starting April of 2022. They did put in some time in March just to assist with my training and transition. But as of April, you should start to see that number go down. Line 57 in library materials is at $33,000. That leaves us on track to spend the projected amount for this fiscal year. Moving on to capital expenses, reference page 32 of the agenda packet. This combined to be $19,579 for January only. This was all related to building projects. Of these costs, the breakdown is Rockland Partners, our project management group, earned $13,900. NBS Special Tax Bond and Consulting made up $4,600 of these costs, and the remaining costs are related to legal and accounting specific to capital funds. In terms of the bond amounts earned for the district, those amounts will be reflected on March 2022 financials, so they're not reflected quite yet, but they're in the works. Are there any questions related to the financials?
Members, any questions of Anna on the financial report?
And I had just a quick question, not necessarily related to the numbers, but you now will be filling the shoes of the accounting procedures, right? With the library, with your new position. Okay, which is kind of what it used to be with Nicole and so on. And I noticed all of your accounting background. So it looks like you know your way around a balance sheet and all of the reports and so on. And
Yes.
I didn't glean from that, however, if you have a lot of experience with a district like ours where we're property tax funded and we have these rhythms of money coming in because of the way taxes are paid and so on. Have you worked with public agencies like ours a lot in the past? I should know this. I'm sorry for asking.
No, that's totally okay. So that part is new. That's why I'm working closely with Ida Bailey just to make sure we're addressing these items. But in terms of full cycle accounting, you're in great hands. I'm able to recognize fully transactions and any sort of impact that they may have.
Okay.
So definitely asking questions if there are things that are new to me. But in terms of my experience, I have about 15 years of full cycle accounting experience. So I'm confident I'm able to
Okay,
handle.
great. And then another thing I noticed, and I don't recall it in the past, is I see some little red letters above some of the categories on here. And then you've got ratios and stuff. Is that an addition that you made, or has that always been on there and I just missed it?
That has been on there.
Okay. I guess the reason I bring it up is that any ideas that you have, creative ideas about making these things, you know, giving information that we need to know, et cetera, I'd be open to that, you know, at any time as we go forward. So thank you. It's nice to know that you're in that seat and then we're not having to kind of cobble together a financial management program, although it went pretty well in the interim. And welcome aboard. Nice job. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Any other questions of Anna? No? Okay. Well, great presentation, Anna. And I like the confidence you've got and the experience you bring. So it sounds like we're in very good hands. Thanks so much. Okay, next on our agenda are the Board Trustees Standing Committee reports. Katie, do we have a report from the Budget Committee?
No report from the Budget Committee this month.
Great. Thank you, Katie. Terry, the CFD Committee, which is on page 35.
We did have a meeting earlier this month with the CFD committee, and it's in the packet there. Excuse me. There were only 2 items on the agenda that we had to vote on. One would be a recommendation about how to the board from the committee about how to park our money, you know, so that earn maximum interest. And right now, as you see, we've got 22 million and change from our bond sale, but we've got it in a CD account, which is only yielding 0.1% in terms of a you know, interest, which is like my bank account, my savings account. So we kind of stalled at that. We didn't stall, but we said, well, we really need to put some effort and some thought into where we're going to park our money as we go forward. I learned a couple of new things in the presentations that we had, and that is that because of U.S. banks, you know, operating agreement with us, there's only certain places where we can invest that they can help us out with. One of them is in U.S. Treasury securities, and the other is in bonds, which are rated AA or higher by Standard & Poor. And there's not a lot of opportunity for us to get those bonds. So what we voted on, instead of a recommendation to the full board, was to please go back to U.S. Bank and have them come up with their best recommendation about the mix of funds or the only security or treasury securities, et cetera, that they would recommend, and then we'll bring that back to the board. I kind of thought it might be in this meeting package, but it's not. So I think they're still working on it.
Yeah, Terry, it actually was an oversight. Nikki informed me shortly after disseminating the agenda that she had the report ready with the recommendations for the investment of the bond proceeds. Just didn't make it, so it'll have to wait until the April meeting.
Okay, good. So we are on track to get our money in a better yielding position. And we also have deadlines in the way we spend the money. I'm sure all of you are aware of that. So we're trying to build that into it as well, about how long we can invest in certain things. And then the other item that we tackled in the meeting was a look back at the committee itself, the CFD committee. As you know, we have our citizen volunteers on that, and they've done a pretty good job, especially Kim Kinney. She's been outstanding just at every meeting, and sometimes allows us to make sure that we've got a quorum. But we are winding down a little bit on the topics that we have, and we voted to broaden our meeting, the interval of our meeting times going forward for the rest of the year. So the meeting dates that we have will be quarterly, beginning really right now. We've got a March meeting, we'll have one in June, we'll have one in September, and one in December. And at that point, the obligation or the sign up that the citizen volunteers did will be gone. So we might have a conversation with the board about how we might want to change the structure a little bit of the CFD committee as it sort of becomes more of a, not that busy when it comes to the CFD, at least in its formation. So we'll keep you informed on that. So we voted on that. Our meetings going forward will be in June, September, and December on the dates listed. And that was the business of the CFD committee. at the last meeting we had. Are there any questions? Okay, great, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Terry. Appreciate that. Okay, now on to the ad hoc committee reports. Facilities committee first. Jason?
Sure. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of things. Needless to say, just like with the CFD committee, there's a lot has been happening. So I want to, first of all, recognize the full team, both Rockland Partners and Anderson Brule, and my fellow committee member, Katie Clark. There's an awful lot of work that's been happening here. As people have seen, we have our first meeting tomorrow open to the entire community to hear from folks and get feedback and answer any questions in regards to where we're at with the Bob Lucas design and schematics. So looking forward to an eventful meeting tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing from as many folks as possible. The plan after that will be, obviously we're going to incorporate all of the feedback we get, have at least one more meeting of the community focus group to review the feedback. And then we're still targeting May meeting of the board to bring a final design, hopefully. The other kind of major update, and there will be more details in the board packet in the April meeting. We are remaining focused on Bob Lucas and kind of slowing things down a little bit on the main, thanks to the staff of the library identifying and getting an application for a very, very significant amount of money, grant money, to assist with the main branch. So if we get even part of that grant money, it's going to have a big impact on what we're able to accomplish. So we'll be keeping folks updated on that as well. Any questions, anything folks were wondering about before we?
Jason, what's the source of the grant that you're applying for?
It's the, help me, Katie, California Library.
California State Library.
There we
California
go.
State Library. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There was some infrastructure. Terry will know this. There were some infrastructure funds that were made available to the state. I think we've talked about it a couple of times, and so
yes,
this is part of that. So we've made an application, and we expect to hear soon. They've said like spring, so hopefully we'll know pretty quickly.
Any other questions for Jason on the CFD? I'm sorry, the facilities committee? No.
From all my friends, Jason, about the meeting coming up tomorrow. And so I'm hoping a few of them show up. 39 at the last count actually seems like a promising number. So hopefully we'll get some more signed up.
Well, and Ashley's just said to me in the chat that we're at 49 folks.
Nice.
As of right now, which is amazing. It's so good. I just wanted to remind everybody, little Brown Act moment, because what would a library board meeting?
Thank you.
Oh, do you want to do it? No,
I was going to ask you because I am. Yes.
Okay, so because tomorrow's town hall is not a noticed public Brown Act compliant meeting, we are bound by our rules of no more than 2 trustees in discussion, because Jason and I are both going to be there. That means the 3 of you guys are welcome to attend, but you can't say anything, anything, not to each other, not to the audience. You got to zip it. Otherwise we're in big trouble. So I'm sorry about that. That's how it goes, but we did want to, kind of keep it relaxed. And so that's the deal.
No, I appreciate the reminder. It will be flies on the wall.
Just to be clear, there will be an agendized item. Like I said, hopefully we can stay on track where a more finalized kind of design will come before the full board, and we will. So I encourage folks to sit in and just view the proceedings tomorrow, so that way you can already kind of be thinking about any questions or clarification you may need when it does come before the full board.
Yeah. And we can always have a good discussion around this at any of our meetings, right? We just want to make sure that we're not having that discussion at the town hall. It needs to be in an agendized public format.
Exactly.
I got a Brown Act procedural question, I guess, Katie, just for my knowledge. Would we be allowed as trustees listening and understanding we can't take that part of the conversation there, but could we submit a question in writing beforehand? Nothing. Okay, that's interesting.
Nope.
I don't
Nope.
think-
Sorry.
No.
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Because it counts as a discussion, right? Even if you're like, are you sure you want to take that? You know, like yeah, even if it's a genuine question, it breaks our kind of serial meeting issues. So yeah, what I would say is that if you do have questions, or if there's something that comes up that you wanna discuss, let's just stick it on as an agenda item for our April meeting. And if it feels more serious than that, I mean, we always have the option to call a special meeting and have a conversation about it. But I think, yeah, unfortunately, no, sorry.
Okay, no, I don't have any questions actually, but it's just amazing how well you have to insulate yourself with these Brown Act things. Just
I
wondering.
know it. But we're a rule following bunch. We love the Brown
Yes,
Act.
we
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
We're excited to.
The greatest piece
Wow,
of
okay.
legislation ever written in human history.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
Miles
Any
Miller.
other any other conversation or discussion about the Jason's report? No. Well, thank you, Jason, Katie, once again for spearheading that. I know it's a lot of work and interacting with a lot of members of the community. I know that's not easy, but it's certainly needed. So thank you. Camila, do you have any redistricting committee update?
We do not at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go on to liaison reports. Terry, your government liaison report.
Yeah, the liaison is very short, as you can see, and you'll all recall last year we had a policy update for the board handbook about what the government liaison officer can do in terms of voting, and which I did. I went ahead and voted after looking at the qualifications of several candidates for the 2 open seats that happens in May for the voting member seats for the local agency formation commission. And both of these folks are aligned with water districts, and they seem to be pretty well qualified, Jerry Gladbach and Melvin Matthews. So that's the vote that we came up with for that position. Any questions about that?
Any questions?
No, I just really appreciate you voting on our behalf, Terry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Thank you, Terry, for that. Okay, liaison reports. Katie, any update on the foundation?
I'll just say in light of tomorrow's meeting, so I was at the last foundation meeting in March, and this is in Bridget's report. We spent a lot of time going through all of the new Bob Lucas designs. So we went through the slide deck that you all saw at the February board meeting. Got feedback from the foundation members, and they had a lot of helpful thoughts and contributions. So that was really, really good. A lot of enthusiasm and excitement about the proposed design. So I think we're in good shape. And welcome to Kevin Koga, who is a new foundation board member elected at the March meeting. And for everything else, Bridget's report does a killer job. So
yeah. Thank you, Katie. Any questions?
Just a comment from me. The foundation and the Friends both seem to operate with a special energy, if you ask me, in these last few months. I've noticed that. So it's too bad there's nobody on, at least that I knew of, that I could pass that on, in person. I was really impressed with the number of books that they're getting, the Friends, and their way that they're turning them around in creative ways to raise revenue already. So anyway, hats off. They're doing a great job, and to have a new board member for the foundation is terrific. So everything seems like it's pretty good over there.
yeah, absolutely.
I agree. A lot of positive energy. Okay, Camila, any update on the Friends?
I do not.
No? Okay, thank you. All right, any other trustee reports of any kind? No. Okay, seeing none, now we will go to there's no unfinished business, so we'll go to the new business at hand. Item 8A, review and approval of the CEQA services list of qualified consultants. I will turn it back over to Ashley.
All right, so this is actually going to be covered by Katie. So I will
Alrighty.
turn it over to you.
Okay. So if you guys remember last month, we brought you an RFP for CEQA services. And so CEQA is the California Environmental Quality Act. And basically it covers anything you want to do to a building anytime ever in the state of California. So there's a lot of pieces of CEQA that kind of govern what you can and can't do for updates. And so one of the reasons that we felt like we needed to bring in a CEQA consultant for both Bob Lucas and the main library is because both of them have, in different ways, shapes, and forms, have historic qualities that we want to make sure we are following all the rules on and that we're handling correctly. So we issued that RFP on March 1st with a closing deadline of March 22nd. We received 2 submissions, and what we're suggesting to the board is that you basically qualify both vendors, and what we want to do is then go to them for some more specific pricing on various projects. It was difficult for them, in the sort of RFP format, to provide a really specific breakdown on like what Bob Lucas would look like, what Maine would look like. We anticipate as part of the project budget that any CEQA consulting work for both locations will not exceed $200,000, which is wrapped into the reports and surveys and projects line item. So all of that is good to go. So the recommendation for you all in the motion we're asking for is that we authorize the district director to contract with any of the selected firms for CEQA consulting throughout and until the conclusion of both renovations for an amount not to exceed in total $200,000.
And Katie,
I'm happy to answer, any questions you guys might have.
Just for clarification, this is a pre-approved list. So at the time that the district is ready to move forward with said services, they'll put out basically requests for pricing from the 2, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. So both Chambers and Ultra Systems, if you guys vote to basically qualify them tonight, then at that point we can go back to both of them and say, okay, show us what the pricing would look like for this specific set of services at Bob Lucas. And the reason we wanted to do it this way is because it may be that one is more cost effective for one location while another is more cost effective for a different one. And we want to make sure that we're kind of getting the best rate we can for the district rather than being, kind of locked into one provider on this. Because they are very different locations. Yeah.
Are either one of them local by chance?
Both of them do a lot of work locally. Neither is like a Altadena, Pasadena outfit. We were hoping that we would get more local contributions. But one thing we've noticed as part of this whole facilities process is that the sort of number of hoops you have to jump through as like a small local business to kind of meet the state requirements for insurance and liability and certificate, like it can be pretty prohibitive. But both of these outfits are super qualified. They both looked good. No concerns with either of their experience. They've done library work. They've done, plenty of public sector work.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions, comments? No? Okay, seeing none, may I get a motion to approve that item, please?
I move to approve that.
Thank you, Terry. May I get a second?
Second.
Great. Thank you, Jason. Any further discussion on the matter? Okay, seeing none, we'll take it to a vote. Trustee Andrews?
Aye.
Trustee Capel?
Aye.
Trustee Clark?
Aye.
Trustee Wilkerson?
Aye.
And an item for me. Thank you very much. That item is approved. Now we'll go on to the next item, 8B, review and approval of revised ALD computer and internet policies or policy. Ashley?
Yes, this will be presented by Ms. Nate Hamilton, our Youth and Family Services Manager.
Hi.
Great.
Yeah, it's a weird light happening, but hello.
Hello.
All right. So we just made a very small change to our computer use policy. It has been recently updated, was last approved September 2021. But staff brought to our attention that there was a discrepancy between our unattended children policy age kind of limit and our computer and internet use policy. So unattended children policy says that kids ages 10 and over are allowed to be in any public area of the libraries without parent or caregiver supervision. But the computer and internet policy said that children or patrons ages 14 and under could not use the computers in the adult area unless they were accompanied by a caregiver. So we had a little gap between ages 10 and 14 or 10 and 13 where staff were sort of having to supervise and making sure that those aged children were not on the computers in the adult area. So just to put all of the policies in alignment, we changed the age on the computer and internet use policy to ages 10 and 10 and under have to be with a parent or guardian. Well, 9 and under, and then ages 10 and up can use the computers without a parent and guardian. If you have any questions, that was a lot.
Thank you. No, that was perfect. Thank you. Any questions or comments? No? Okay. Yes, we did see this policy recently.
Just
so it's good to clarify. So Katie, you had a question?
Just real quick, and this is more of a procedural question on policies than it is like this policy looks great. Yes, we should definitely do this. They should match. In future, when we have policies where there are updates, it would be super helpful if we could just redline it or like highlight the section that changes. I got my old one and I compared this one and I was like, is there anything else that's different? So it would be great if we could just do that in a redline format. I know you guys bring us policies all the time and they're always smart changes, but it would just be great to know exactly where those are.
Yeah.
That's a great recommendation, Katie. Great. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? Great. Okay. Seeing none, may I get a motion to approve this revised policy?
So
moved. Ooh, Camila beat me
Ooh,
to
that's
it.
fast. Camila first and Katie second. So thank you for
I'll
that.
second it.
And all right, I like it. Okay, any further discussion on this matter? Right. Okay, seeing none, we'll take this matter to a vote. Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Capel.
Aye.
Trustee Clark.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkerson.
Aye.
And I vote for me. Thank you very much. That item is now approved. Okay, next item in our board package for approval is the review and approval of resolution 2022-04, authorizing establishment of authorized signatures for Pacific Western Bank.
Okay, so
Ashley?
this is just to be able to add Anna on as an authorized signer so that she is on the bank accounts and can sign checks and things associated with the accounts. So the staff recommends that the board review and approve the addition of Anna to the signer.
She looks pretty trustworthy. I think that we could probably move forward. Any questions or comments on this matter?
This is a super unimportant thing, but the staff report says it's resolution 2022-03, but the actual resolution is 2022-04. Just probably be good to correct that at some point. Not important, but just so our everything aligns.
We'll make a note to correct it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good catch, Kitty. Okay. All right, seeing no further discussion, may I get a motion to approve this matter?
So moved.
Okay, thank you, Katie. Second?
And seconded.
All right, thanks, Camila. All right, any further discussion on the matter? Okay, seeing none, we'll take this matter to a vote. Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Capel.
Aye.
Trustee Clark.
Hi.
Trustee Wilkerson.
Aye.
And that's an aye vote for me. That matter is approved. Thank you very much. Next item, 8D, review and approval of resolution 2022-05. This is for the extension of the provision for the telecommute. So this is the standard monthly procedure we've been doing, and at such time we actually get the state to lift or change its current policy, we'll continue to telecommute. So we'll just, for this school to carry us through April, and we'll continue to do so until we're allowed to meet. So any questions or comments on this matter? No? Okay. May I get a motion to approve?
I move that we approve an extension for resolution 2022-05.
Great. Thank you, Terry. May I get a second?
I'll second.
Great. Thanks, Jason. All right. Any further discussion on the matter? Okay. Seeing none, we'll take the matter to a vote. Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Capel.
Aye.
Trustee Clark.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkerson.
Aye.
And I vote for me. And it sounds like we have a few other I votes there, Camila. That matter is approved. Okay. Last of the new business is the letter E, authorize the district director to endorse a statement and or op-ed on preserving our freedom to read during unprecedented times. I'll turn this item back over to Ashley.
Okay, so this is to authorize that we, or the district director, is able to endorse a statement that protects our freedom to read. This statement is still in draft mode. It's not finalized. It's set to be released for National Library Week, which is next week. But basically, the statement just surrounds being able to protect our freedom to read, to learn, and have access to information. The staff recommends that the board authorizes Nikki to be able to endorse this statement, even though it is not yet finalized.
Thank you, Ashley. Any questions on this matter?
I just had a question about and it's just a general question, I guess. It's a letter to support the intellectual freedom and against the banning of books from National Library Week. So I guess I was maybe being naive, but I didn't know there was that much book banning going on. And is it just in this country? Or is it all around?
No, I mean, having just come from the Public Library Association biannual conference, this was like the theme of the conference. And I think we, for better or for worse, we're in a really amazing community here in Altadena. I would say California, but that's unfortunately not even the case. And to speak with librarians and library leadership from all over the country, this is a huge, huge struggle. And in many parts of the country, using up most of their time and energy and leadership just dealing with this issue. Instead of being able to do all of the amazing stuff that we're doing for our community, they're having to like constantly fight this fight. And so I think it is very important for, even though we haven't had to deal with it yet, for us to still take this position.
Good to support our brothers and sisters across the country that are dealing.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. I mean, that kind of resets things for me a little bit because I didn't know it was that much of an issue. So thanks.
There's people running for boards and states for the sole purpose of being able to push book bans.
Yep. Yep.
It's crazy. So any other questions, comments, thoughts on this matter? No, seeing none. May I get a motion to approve this matter?
So moved.
Thank you, Katie. May I get a second?
I'll second.
Great. Thank you, Terry. Any other discussion on the matter? Okay, seeing none, we'll take the matter to a vote. Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Capel.
Aye.
Trustee Clark.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkerson.
Aye.
Yeah, thank you. And that's an aye vote for me. That matter is approved. Thank you very much for that, Ashley and team, for presenting that to us. Next item, governance. Any matters that my fellow trustees want to bring up?
Can I just,
Yeah, go ahead.
quick, I probably should have spoken up during the trustee reports, but I don't want us to, like, having spent 3 days at PLA in Portland, like, this is like, I don't want us to leave on like this sobering negativity that we just voted on to take. I came away just from that, and I'll submit a more detailed written report for next month, but I came away just like super inspired. It's just the things that libraries, public libraries in particular, and their amazing staff are accomplishing both in the US and in Canada, in spite of the pandemic, is just, it's super encouraging. Everything from, bringing communities together despite all the tension that we're dealing with, various truth and reconciliation efforts happening. There's a group of librarians here in California that are starting a whole program that they're taking nationally about working with recently decarcerated people and providing services. It's just a lot of amazing stuff is happening, and I look forward to providing a more detailed written report for the April board meeting.
Thank you very much, Jason. I was wondering when you were going to bring that up. I was hoping you would. And thank you. I know you're very busy, in your professional, personal life. So for you to take the time to do that on behalf of the district is commendable. So appreciate you doing that and look forward to seeing the report. Okay, next are the announcements and planning correspondence, as well as future agenda items. I will say that based on the last board retreat, we did discuss having quarterly agendized personnel matters, which would be in closed sessions. So I'm going to ask that Nikki put that on the next agenda so that we can have a closed session discussion on that. And then further following up on our discussion about branding, or should I strike that, going back and discussing the goals and objectives for the trustees themselves, and coming up with a way to communicate the benefits of being a trustee, and giving ourselves a means by which to communicate and get the pipeline of potential candidates for future consideration. Katie and I have been working on this along with Jennifer, our consultant. So we want to come back with some further discussions on that as well. So that's still, we've been working on the side slowly, but sort of getting there, and we'll have that discussion as well. Does anyone else have any other agenda items that they want to include next month? If not now, you can always tell myself or Nikki later or so. That's it. We've come to the end of our meeting. This is pretty quick, 5:51.
Wow.
Yeah,
yes, how about that? Yeah, you know what? It's all Ashley. Ashley.
It's
Just,
Ashley. Yeah.
It is Ashley. It's when Nikki's around, it's just kind of slow. Nikki, I know you're probably watching. We miss you. We hope you're having a good time up there.
I would just as a funny aside, I RSVP'd for my Monday night softball game because we had this meeting and it was an early game, and now we are finished at 5:51, so I would have been able to make a 6:15 game. But
oh no!
But
you can still go and cheer.
Okay.
We got rained out anyway. How?
Okay.
Yeah, you got rained out. Oh well, that's too bad. Well, may I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Great. May I get a second?
Second.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. Seeing no objection, this meeting is now adjourned at 5:52. Ashley and team, you did a fantastic job. Thank you. Really
Welcome
appreciate
aboard.
Very good.
Stay dry, everybody.
Thanks,
All right. Be well, everyone. All right. Take care.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
good night.
Bye.
Right.